and analyze. And for reading the data, for making the analysis of the data, you need some scientific techniques. Okay, and those scientific techniques must be data driven. Okay, so they should be built on the given data. So therefore, the knowledge of statistics, knowledge of mathematics is really important when you are going to be a data scientist. Uh, a healthcare expert can also be a good data scientist. A person from hotel management can be a good data scientist, but there must be a minimum knowledge of some mathematical and probabilistic concepts to be a data science. And in this program, we will provide all those concepts in a very deep way to all of you. And it will not be in very deep, it will be in very interactive in a layman language. So that whatever be whatever be the background of the participants, you should be able or visualize those concepts. Not only the theoretical knowledge of those concepts, we will implement those concepts in the live sessions. So that is one thing. The another objective of data, we can say that data will help to create a better customer experience. So nowadays we are having very many recommender systems. So these recommender systems are nothing just an application from the data science. Based on the past experience, based on the existing data, we are building the future experience, or what will be the recommendation of a particular user based on his past behavior. So to keep this particular aspect also in mind, we are having some sessions on recommender system in this program. Sorry. We will we will take some case studies, some real life problems, and we will build the knowledge of recommender system on those particular problems. Now, when we talk about the life cycle of data science, so there are 5 pillars, or I can say 5 verticals. One of them is capture, which talks how to grab the data. So data acquisition, data entry, signal reception, data extraction, all those horizontal comes under the vertical capture. Then we are having processing of data. So processing of data, before that we will go for maintaining, where we are having this DBMS, data warehousing, and all those kind data architecture, all those kind of, in fact, data structure also, how to store your data. And then we will go for processing, the most important vertical of data science. So here we are having something like data mining, clustering, classification. Those comes from the machine learning techniques, data modeling, and data summarization. So what we will do in this program, we will give the major focus will be on this data processing aspect, because it is the most important vertical to have knowledge of data science. And then we are having like analysis, data analyzing, and again we are having here topics like exploratory analysis, predictive analysis, regression, mining, and so on. So we will take some topics from this data analysis also. So basically we will focus on these 2 verticals along with implementation in Python. And then we are having communication, so which comes in the end, and where we are having data reporting, visualization, business intelligence, and making wise decision based on all those aspects of the data. Okay. So now when we talk about data scientists, so it is a new growing breed of professionals, highly in demand today. Because nowadays data science, machine learning, AI, all these are very popular, and so we are having huge demand of data science. Now, like a computer scientist, electrical engineer, civil engineer, it is not a particular core area when we talk about data science. Okay, it is totally interdisciplinary. What you need some knowledge, means small knowledge from different domains, and based on that you can develop your ability to become a data scientist. And as I told you, some of these subjects are programming, then you are having statistics, machine learning, all those kind of things. Okay, so the term data scientist was coined as recently as in 2008, when companies like LinkedIn and Facebook realized the need for data professionals who are skilled in organizing and analyzing massive amount of data, or in other words, analyzing big data. Okay, so one professor, Holverian, which is professor at UC Berkeley, uh, in information science department. So he told that the ability to take data, to be able to understand it, to process it, to extract value from it, to visualize it, to communicate it. So all those verticals which I have just mentioned with you, that's going to be a hugely important skill in next decade. And this is really because he spoke it, he gave this statement almost 10 years back. And after that, you can see how we are growing nowadays in the field of data science. Okay. However, this data science or data scientist is new to us, but the history of data science is quite old. And it is age long, means you can see from the early 20th century, or from the beginning of 20th century. So uh, uh, some of you are having knowledge of machine learning, or a bit knowledge about all, and they must know about one of the data reduction technique, dimension reduction technique, or feature extraction technique, which is called principal component analysis. So you must be surprised that theory of PCA was given in the beginning of 20th century, in 903. Okay, uh, almost 120 years back, the theory was given. However, it became popular in 90s, when we were using computers, our personal computers, in the area of machine learning and all those. Then in 1935, there was a statistics way of analyzing the data, and it is called the design of experiments, given by Fisher. Then in 1939, we are having how to control the quality of data, given by Deming. Then we are having Peter Lure in 1958. He told about how to use data for creating business intelligence system. And then we are having very famous work which is called exploratory data analysis of Tukey in 1977. Although he started this work from uh, early 70s itself, in fact early 60s. And then we are having in 1997, machine learning was become very popular and become an integral part of data science. And then we are having like code paradigm and many other things. Okay. So history is very old when we talk about data science. Now, when we talk about data analysis or data processing, there are few terms which one should be very much familiar. One of them is classification. So classification is nothing just to assign a category for a new instance. And how you will assign this? This you can do based on the past experience, based on the learning from the data, and such type of learning is called supervised learning. Then we are having clustering. So clustering comes, or in other words, we will say unsupervised learning, where we don't have the class information or level information of the patterns. So how we will do it? We will make the clusters of the data based on some common properties of those, and then we classify them into different clusters. Then we are having pattern detection. So how to find out how to identify different patterns in data. Okay, and there again we are having two types of data. We can have temporal data that will depend on time, and spatial data. And finally, we are having simulation. So define mathematical formulas that can generate data similar to observations collected. So how can we can generate more and more data, and that must be useful for some other applications. So now based on this small introduction, let me come some unique features of this program. So as application of data science and machine learning become widespread in society, so we believe that everybody should have some understanding of its underlying principles. So when I talk about underlying principles, I am talking about a very basic mathematics and statistics. And not only the concepts, implementation of those also. So like when we talk about principal component analysis, so okay, it's fine. As a black box, we can use the PCA command in Python or MATLAB or whatever tool you are using. But what actually is PCA is? If we have a inner understanding of that PCA concept, you will be more wise whether to use PCA or not to use PCA, whether to use linear PCA or whether we should go for any non-linear manifold learning technique. Similar in case of some generative models, like if I talk about discriminant analysis. So if very small mathematics are there behind to these concepts, but generally we don't want to learn those. So if you know those, you can make better applications of these concepts. So that is one of the objective of this course, not only give you the applications, implementations, but to give very brief knowledge about the underlying concepts also. We will also talk and we will be very precise about the concepts behind machine learning. And then finally, as Mr. Sisodia told, we will give focus on implementation, on benchmark data sets, on industry problems, and some demos during this program. So with this small introduction, let me cover some more things. So we have chosen Python. So why we choose Python for AI and machine learning? Okay. So as you know, to implement all concepts of AI or ML or in data science, we need some suitable programming language. So Python is the most popular one when we talk about machine learning as well as data science. There are R also. But why Python is having some advantage? That is, it is open source, it is simple and consistent, we are having flexibility, we are having very rich libraries of Python like NumPy, SciPy, Scikit. We will introduce these libraries during this course. And then readability. So we can read all codes very easily, even though it is not developed by us. We can understand it and we can make changes in that particular code. So here again, we will give a full-fledged knowledge of the Python during this program. So with this, thank you very much. If you are having any questions, you can ask. Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, Pratik. So if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Uh, as of now, sir, one question is there. What is spatial data?
Okay. So like you talk about an image. So when we are saying about the image, we are having pixels. And image is nothing, it is a two-dimensional array. So what we are having, like we are having pixel locations. One is in horizontal direction, another one is vertical direction. So let us say x-axis and y-axis. So these pixels are nothing, these are grid, means intersection of horizontal and vertical lines. So they will be having some spatial coordinates like x is 0, y is 0, x is 5, y is 7, in 5th row, 7th column, in 10th row, 20 column. So all these 5, 7, 10, 20, so it is a spatial. Will depend on time. It will change with time. It will having time coordinates also. So this is the a basic understanding, or in terms of a layman, I can tell you about spatial data and temporal data.
Thank you, sir. There is another question. What is PCA?
What is PCA? PCA is principal component analysis. Okay. PCA is principal component analysis, and we will learn this technique during this program, even though we will implement it on some real data sets. So it is a technique which reduces the dimensions of the data. So when we talk about dimension, so uh, each data set we will define in terms of feature vectors. And these feature vectors are vectors in some finite dimensional space. Okay, so these number of dimensions equals to number of features of the data, or number of attributes in feature vectors. So sometimes what we are having from our data, we are having many redundant features which can affect our classification or regression analysis or accuracy. So what we do before going for classification, we apply a pre-classification technique which is called principal component analysis, from where we reduce these redundant dimensions. So one of the advantages to reduce the dimension. Another way to make data compact, so that you can, if you can learn the same thing, you can make the same analysis from the small amount of data, from the reduced dimensional data. Why to use huge data? So this is a technique which is called principal component, and we will learn in this course. It is very interesting thing.
Sir, the last question is what is EDA?
EDA, not EDA. I told about LDA, linear discriminant analysis. Again, it is a statistical technique to use in data analysis, and it is not only for reducing the dimension, but also uh, we can use it in as a supervised classifier also. So it is a generative model.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful inaugural talk. So
So even though
I,
if you are having more questions, we will be having live sessions and there we can. So it is just introductory. We are not going into technical details, but later on, you can go into deep discussion and we will try to provide you to clarify all your queries as much as we can. Okay. So thank you, Pratik,
thank you,
and
sir. Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
again to all participants for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Manu Gupta sir to give the inaugural speech.
Yes, Pratik.
Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. So, can you hear me now? I happen to hear my voice back, so I hope it is okay now.
Yes, sir. It is fine now.
Pratik, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Clearly. Yeah.
Yes, you are audible.
Give me one more moment. I'm putting up the headphone will work. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yeah, I'm. And can you? Hello.
Hello.
Somehow I hear my voice back. Hello, Pratik.
Sir, are
You
you
can
speaking?
rest of the participants.
No, I guess there is some problem. I keep on hearing the echo and hear my voice back.
It will be fine. Now it will be fine.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't know what the problem is. I still hear my voice back. Uh, should I leave the meeting and join again?
Yes, sir. Sure. You can reconnect, sir. No problem.
Okay, all right.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Pratik. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. I hope participants are able to see me also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So first of all, I apologize for this technical issues. I mean, this could quite happen in any online meeting. So welcome to this online course on applied data science with Python. And I'm Manu Gupta. I'm a faculty member with Management Studies Department at IIT Roorkee. And I basically work largely on applying techniques from data science and machine learning in innovative business models, or in particular, in using some of the online data for building business models which could result in more efficient solutions. So I would also like to thank my colleague, Professor Sanjeev Manas and Professor Sanjeev Kumar, for organizing such a wonderful certification course. And the other colleagues from industry, Pranav Gandhi and Kaushalyan Shishodia, I thank them also for coming up together with this idea of having this applied data science program with Python. So Professor Sanjeev Kumar has already given a very nice introductory talk on what this course is going to be all about. And all of you would be sort of attending several live sessions and clarifying your doubts and learning about Python and using Python for solving several case studies and several problems which emerge from industry, as well as which are of academic interest. And we would try to be precise, the idea of, joining hands with industry is that you could be precise as well as you could solve the problems of the industry, right? So that's what we would try to do in this course. And let me just talk about what I'm going to kind of take up in this course. So I'll be mainly handling two modules. One is on online learning, or basically learning in a sequential decision making. So essentially, sequential decision making is a very important aspect, and it can be seen in several problems. So, for example, if you look at the problem of dynamic pricing in e-commerce, so e-commerce has become very prevalent in these pandemic days, where like most of the people are ordering quantities online, and you would see that players like Amazon, Flipkart are keep on changing prices. So one big question is, how do you change the prices? So I mean, so there is background demand, there is a background algorithm which essentially runs, which is based on machine learning, and it's I mean, the data is generated in a sequential fashion, right? Because you pay a price, and then based on that there is certain demand, and then again you pay a price, certain other price for the same item. So I mean, this dynamic pricing actually plays.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, your voice is little bit low, sir.
Is it so? Let me increase the mic volume. Is it better now?
Yeah, it much better, sir, now.
Okay, all right. Oh, all right, Pratik. Thanks for letting me know that. So I was saying that I mean, I hope you happened to hear me earlier, and I was saying that Professor Sanjeev Kumar had given a very nice introduction about the course, and we'll try to I mean, look at several problems from industry perspective, as well as try to be precise in terms of solving problems and understanding data science from a mathematical perspective, from a statistical perspective, from a business perspective. So that's the high level high level idea of the course. And in particular, I'll be covering two modules. One is learning on sequential decisions, and another one is on forecasting. So learning in sequential decisions is really very important topic, and it has picked up quite a lot during the pandemic. So basically, if you look at the e-commerce market, right? So this problem of dynamic pricing, where you change the prices based on the background algorithm to maximize the revenue. So you basically, try to, use data which several customers have kind of generated by buying the items. They have generated demand by buying a certain price. They have, generated the prices that at this price I'm willing to buy, and so on. So, I mean, how does dynamic pricing work? So that's one part. And another important aspect these days is in digital marketing, where, you talk about online advertisement. So nowadays, it is really very important for a company to have a presentation in web, right? I mean, they have to be present in web. It has never been so important earlier than today. So, I mean, this online advertisement also has a very nice feature of having this sequential decision in the online manner, in the sense that, you see the advertisement and you click on that, and then you end up buying or you do not buy it, right? So, I mean, what most of the websites try to do is they try to maximize the click-through rate. And there are several advertisements to display, and the question is, which advertisement do you want to display? So we'll have a data set, and we'll try to probably work around and see what kind of algorithms really work for these kind of problems. So that's one part. That's one module which I'll be handling, that is coming towards the end of the course. And another module is on forecasting. So I need not tell you that how important forecasting is for any company or for any business organization. So we'll be covering a couple of modules in couple of key concepts in forecasting, and using forecasting, you'll see that how the business decisions are sort of heavily impacted based on your forecasting for the demand, or forecasting for maybe price by which you would be willing to buy, and so on. So I think I'll not take more time, and with this I welcome all the participants, and over to you, Pratik. Thank you. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to address.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
There is no questions, sir, as of now.
Okay, all right. Thanks. Thanks. I think somebody wrote, can you be a little louder, but I couldn't hear earlier. So I hope it's okay. So no worries if you happen to not hear me earlier. I have been giving the introduction to you about the course. and I'll be back and we'll be covering certain sessions on learning in sequential decisions and forecasting. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now I would like to request Pranav to start the today's session.
All right, Pratik. Am I audible, everyone?
Yeah, Pranav, you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the confirmation. Okay, so let me introduce myself first. So, can someone please provide me the sharing rights?
Now you
I'm
can
not
share
able
the
to.
screen, sir. Yeah.
Let me try again. I'm not able to share the screen actually, Pratik.
So you're a presenter now, Pranav sir. So you can share the screen. Try again, please.
Okay. No, it is the share button is not enabling actually. There are two buttons, share
Yeah,
and cancel.
you need to choose the screen first. Just choose the screen first and then click.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you very much. So, my name is Pranav Gandhi, and I really appreciate for giving me an opportunity to, present this particular program over a period of time. And I thank you very much for IIT Roorkee and also Uniconverge for giving me this opportunity. I'm working as a trainer and consultant in the industry for last 22 years. And on the left side, you can see these are the various domains in which I have worked all these years. And these are some of the academics and certifications which I have.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. It's still not visible. If you can share again the same procedure, if you can do the again.
Okay, please. So is my screen is not visible to all of you?
Yeah, just share one more time, sir. It's not visible right now.
Okay, let me share it again.
Yeah, now it's visible. Yeah.
Is it visible?
Correct. Yes, it's visible.
All right. So actually, this was the introductory slide I was explaining about. Right. So this is the brief introduction about myself. And as Professor Sanjeev Kumar has given us the broader picture about the outline of the program and all, okay. So this is what is going to be our agenda, I hope. And we are going to learn the Python programming, right? And we are going to have an introduction about our environment as well. I'm going to, take you through right from the basics of how to install the software and all. Okay. Then we'll slowly move into the statistical analysis, data mining, supervised and unsupervised learning, machine learning techniques, text mining, NLP. We're going to use the Tableau for data visualization purposes, and there will be forecasting. So that's the overall and brief agenda topics which we are going to cover. Right. So in the beginning, all of you are from, I guess, from engineering background. So you must be having an understanding of how to download any of the software, right? So it's not, that hard to download. Let's say we are going to use Anaconda for Python, right? So this is what Anaconda is all about. So let's try to download a copy of Anaconda. So what all of you have to do is simply go to the website of www.anaconda.com. And on this page, you will find here there are a lot of tabs over here. Okay, a lot of different options given over here, out of which we are interested in the products, right? And that too for individual edition. So just select that individual edition option over there and just go down at the fag end of the page, and somewhere here you will find there are Anaconda installers, right? So depending upon whatever operating system you are having in your laptop or computers or desktop computers, right? Based on these operating systems, you can choose any of the links, okay, based on your configuration also. Okay, so if you have 32-bit system, then you can go for this link. 64-bit, you can go for this link. That too for Windows operating system. Make sure that before going for the links, you please select it first, okay, and then you can download the installer. Once you download the installer, based on your downloading path, it will be downloaded in your system, right? So something like this is for our studio, and okay, I might have deleted that. Okay, so one can download that installers, or let me download it right away. So mine is 32-bit system. So I'm downloading this, okay, into my download folder. Now once it is downloaded, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 minutes maybe. Okay, once it is downloaded, it will be appearing in your download folders. You simply have to double click on that particular file to let it download complete. Okay, anyway, it is downloading. But then once the file is being downloaded into your system, just double click it, and like an normal software installer, installer will appear in front of you, and you simply have to follow the instructions given page wise. Or let it happen, I will show you. Actually, I did not see it earlier that the installer is deleted over here. Just give me 2 minutes. It's being downloaded. Till then, if you have any questions, you can ask. Any question. No matter whether the topic has been covered yet or not. You can at least, have some sort of discussion. And by then, let me also tell you about how to download RStudio also. And please make sure, guys, you are, making your notes. So all the steps explained over here, though the video recording is available, I will just give you some tips that how I have learned this data science. So right from the day one, I started, creating my own notes, whatever format you may wish to have it, whether it is using pen or paper, whether it is using your own system, okay, whether you use Word file or whether you use Excel file. Okay, I will show you how I used to, when I was learning, how I used to keep my notes, create my notes. So this is my Excel working. So this file is, I'm going to use this file throughout the course because there are a lot of things I have noted down for every topic which I have learned as a beginner. Okay, and it's a huge subject. Data science is a huge subject. You know, it's like a sea. So you can't memorize all the things. Okay, so you have to keep your this thing, your notes. You have to keep preparing your notes. Okay, so these are some of the data sets I have prepared to explain you guys. But then there are some examples. But then this is how I used to write down whenever I learn new things. See, this is a keyword file. Okay, so this is something from QQ line, or this is from hypothesis, or this is from hypothesis, this is example. Then how ANOVA, then data mining. Okay, so what are the different terminologies used in data mining, etc. We are going to go through all these things. I'm just, because it is downloading, I'm just showing you how you can prepare your notes. And whenever you prepare your notes, because it is written in your own language, it is easy for you to understand, right? So even if I share this file with you, you won't be able to understand it, because I have written this, or I have created this file as per my understanding and as per my upbringing, right? So every person has or is at different level of understanding. Okay, so this is how you can prepare your notes. Or if someone is comfortable with your pen and paper or notebook, please always try to put down whatever you're not understanding. Something like, you know, these people have asked a question over here that what is EDA, which is good. Asking these questions is good. But then sometimes it happens that maybe in the discussion, one of the question may get unanswered, and the person who has asked it may also forget to re-ask. Okay, so if you put it down in your notebook, at least whenever the next session, next time you get an opportunity, you can ask the same question, or at least you can, you know, research on that particular word. Okay, so something like someone has asked, what is EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. Okay, this is something like likelihood. These are the words. PCA. These are the words. These are the technical words, right? So we always have to put it down in white and black in our notebook, so that it is going to help you in a very long run. Okay, and because it is a research field. Okay, so you must be very good in writing queries over here. Okay, it is a search engine, right? So you're going to learn so many different terminologies, concepts, the different programming techniques, different packages, different tools, different modules, different words used for same techniques. Okay, so there are a lot of things to learn, but I'm sure that hardly a person can, you know, memorize everything. And if you ask me, I will give you, this is how I put it, you know, never try to memorize anything. Okay, we are in the world, we are living in a world, or we are in a society nowadays, or even though it is a competitive world, okay, the learning mechanism has changed, right? So earlier it was something like what was the length of the Nile River, or what is the height of a Himalayas. You have to memorize things. The person who used to have you know, a good memory, and who can you know, keep the data in the mind and give the answers something like on the tip of the tongue, used to be called as a brilliant person. Okay, now the scenario is exactly different. You don't have to memorize anything, okay, but you have to be master in this. Okay, the better you are in your query writing, okay, the fast you will be learning new things and new technologies, and the smarter you will be, right? So our this thing, the installer has been downloaded. Okay, so I'm opening that installer. You can see it must be here somewhere. So you will get this installer like this, Anaconda 3 2020, something like this file. Just double click on this file. Okay. and then it will open up. Let me actually I have already clicked. I don't know why it has not started. So let me double click it again. So it is taking time. Okay, so this kind of window will appear. You simply have to say run over here. I'm not running this installation because the software is already installed in my machine. Okay, so once the installation is complete, you will find that folder over here, something like this, Anaconda 3 or maybe Anaconda 4, maybe Anaconda 2. Okay, whatever you download, it will appear over here. And these are the various options. You may find a couple of options only because this is used and launched thing available also over here. Okay, so once it is downloaded, you simply have to say go to Anaconda Navigator. And there are a lot of IDs like Jupyter is there, okay, Spider is there, and there are so many different IDs are there. What I especially used always, and it is easy to understand for beginners, that is Spider. So we are going to work in this particular IDE. So irrespective of whatever IDE you will use, whether it is Jupyter or Spider or PyCharm or whatever, the code remains same. Only the environment changes. Okay, so whatever code you are writing in Jupyter, you can use the same line of code in Spider. The result will be same. Only the environment will be different. So by the time Anaconda gets open up, let me see if there are any questions. Okay, there are no questions. Okay, there are a lot of questions actually. Okay, my voice is not clear, is it? Is it from everyone?
No, it's totally fine, sir. It's totally fine.
Okay, okay, okay. So are we going to consider Seaborn, Matplotlib? Yes, 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 of course. Then, sir, I am using PyCharm installed my machine connector not supporting. Okay. So I'm completely new to ongoing concept. Is there any prerequisites that I should cover before these sessions? Absolutely not. Who is the person? Sumit Prashar. Absolutely no requirement. See, irrespective of any background you are coming from, whether you are coming from a civil background or electronics background or computer background or pharmacy background, maybe transportation background, logistic background, commerce background, okay, whether you are a CA chartered accountant, whether you are a company secretariat, whether you are an insurance advisor, whether you are selling mutual funds, okay, irrespective of your background, whether you are from agriculture, irrespective of your background, this course is designed for each and every person. Okay, and there is absolutely no need of the prior background of anything or any prerequisites. The only thing is that you must be able to understand the basic mathematics. I mean, whatever we have learned till our standard maybe 10th or 12th, and up till then, whatever statistics we have learned, something like probability and all. Okay, so that is required over here. Okay, and that actually, probability is something which maybe some of you guys have forgotten, or maybe some of, if all of you are students, then you might have just learned it a few years back. But when I deliver lectures, there are people coming from different backgrounds, having work experience 20, 25 years, 15 years, and absolutely lost touch with this mathematical calculations and statistical understanding and everything. Okay, so for them also I tell that the most important thing which we are going to use in this analytical world is the probability. Okay, and this actually we use day in day out. Now, how many of us are watching the television, watching the cricket match on a television? Okay, and how many of you just try to ask this question to yourself? How many of you are when someone is, or Virat Kohli is batting, or maybe some other player is batting, and maybe we are needing some 50 odd runs in 67 balls. How many of you are calculating how many runs required per ball? And how many of you are calculating the run rate? Actually, it is all given, the information given on the screen, but still, we Indians normally are so much habitual, to calculate all these statistics and probabilities every day and now. Okay, all day long we are calculating the thing, and these are the basic things which is required over here to understand, the analysis, to understand the data properly, and after watching the data to understand or to come up with the insights. Okay, this sort of things, these are the basic level things which are required. Okay, so don't worry if you don't have any knowledge about it, or if you don't have any prerequisite. There is no prerequisite, actually, nothing like it. But if you are completely new, I will make your journey very smooth. Don't worry about it. Right, so once you open this Anaconda Navigator, okay, it is a huge software, so it takes time, and my system is quite, it's not that, what you can say, the resources are less over here. Nowadays, you guys may be having the top level computers or laptops. Okay, so you might open in this one in your computer, maybe in fraction of seconds. Okay, so this is what the environment look like for Anaconda Navigator. These are various, IDEs and softwares available with the Navigator, right? Even RStudio is available. So here you simply have to go and say, if you want to use Jupyter, you can launch Jupyter from here. Or if you are going to use Spider, you simply say launch over here. So once you say launch, okay, then the Spider will open up, and the option which is not available here, okay, will start showing, and then you can simply launch it, launch Spider. Okay, once you launch it, the environment will open up like this. Okay, and this is the IDE for Spider. Okay, in Spider we can use the Python language, we can script the Python coding over here, and whatever code we have written, or whatever script we have written, once we execute it, okay, it will be executed in this console window over here. You can see over here, this is a console window. Okay, there are different types of layouts available. Okay, there is Spider default layout, MATLAB layout, RStudio layout, vertical split, horizontal split. Okay, so this particular split is a horizontal split, which I am using right now. But you can use different layouts as well, right? And this is Ipython Console segment. Okay, this is File Explorer. Okay, so it gives you your the information from your drives, whatever the files are stored at what location, etc. If you want any help, you can go to use this tab. Okay, this is what a variable explorer is about. So whatever variables I am declaring, okay, so let me clear this. When you open it for the first time, it will all the segments, all the panes, these are called panes, right? PANS, panes. So all these things will be blank, right? So let me clear this out. So whatever variables we are declaring over here, okay, can be visible in this particular tab. And there is history log as well. Okay, so these are various tabs. So mostly you will be using this Ipython console and this variable explorer tab. Okay, these are the two tabs which will be used regularly. And if suppose sometimes this is not happening now, you can see over here, if this is not going, because I have opened it almost after 20 days, as I was home quarantine, I did not use my computer for last 20 days. And that is why at times it will show something like this. But then you can change your kernel as well, okay, by using this settings option. So let me wait for some time so that these things will be deleted, or I can remove them one by one as well. Okay, all things have gone over here. Okay, my Ipython console can be cleared. So to clear the screen, we use Control L over here in Python. Control L is for clearing the screen, right? And this is the entire environment wherein you can see there are various options. Something like we always use this Microsoft product. Okay, so these are the options given over here. Okay, out of which also we are going to use very few of them as a beginner to Python. Okay, and slowly when you start using it regularly for different projects, maybe in 3 months or 6 months time, you will find all these options very handy, and you will be comfortable with them. Okay, it's all about what you can say. It's all about practice, nothing else, right? So this is how the installation will be done for using Python. So up till now, any questions, guys? Let me check. Completely new ongoing concept. Okay, so there's a lot of words related to data going around. It's kind of confusing and overwhelming. So you can make it clear what exactly we should be looking for and what kind of opportunities should be prepared for. Yeah, actually, I mean, this has become a buzzword. Okay, so everybody is talking about data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, neural nets, or there are so many different terminologies coming in. Actually, these are various techniques, deep learning. These are technologies. Okay, at the base of it, the fundamentals of at the base of it is nothing but is machine learning. If your machine learning concepts are clear, if you really understand machine learning very well, then climbing these ladders becomes like a cakewalk. But if your machine learning concepts is not clear, good enough, or is not okay, or is you are still confused about what is machine learning, how it is happening. Okay, unless you clear this, please don't think about deep learning or artificial intelligence or the higher level topics. Okay, so we will learn them topic by topic. Slowly, I will move to the complexity, increasing complexity of the topics as we go ahead, right? And as far as opportunities are concerned, there are a lot of opportunities. Let me tell you, so many people ask me about this, that they are coming from this background. So is this opportunity, is there any opportunity for them or not? Just keep in your mind, the bottom line is wherever the data is being generated, at that place, the opportunity is there. Now, if you think which is such space where the data is not getting generated, I will show you one slide just to clear some basic doubts from your mind. Yeah, I will be covering some example related to finance. Yes, SQL. SQL actually, you know who is that? Saplani. Okay. You know, SQL is, of course, there are a lot of backend products available, like Hadoop is there, SQL is there. Then you can use Excel also. You can use, I mean, there are a lot of RDBMS systems as well. Okay. So any of the background you can use. But, you know, these backgrounds or backends where the data is actually being stored, okay, even in cloud computing, actually you are connecting to through the server to the server just to collect the data. That's it. That much part is important to learn when it comes to you know, data science, and if you are really want to do some analysis by using the Python and all. Okay, so that much knowledge about SQL is important, because there are a lot of different backends, so you don't know in which backend your client is storing the data. So probably your client is storing it on Google server, or probably your client is storing it on Amazon Web Services, or maybe it is storing it in its own office where there is a physical server available and is storing the data over there. And in that also, some clients may use Hadoop, some clients may use SQL, some clients may use Microsoft Access, or some clients may use some other backend product. Okay. So as far as the connectivity between Python and that product, that much knowledge is important. And I believe that is not more than maybe 8 to 10 lines of code. That's it, nothing else. And as far as SQL is concerned, or any backend tool for that matter, they are, people can get the specialization in that particular topic itself. Okay, so you may find there is a person who is completely working on only SQL. Okay, he don't know anything about Python, he don't know anything about data science, he don't know anything about this machine learning and all, but he is a champion of SQL. Okay, you may find someone is champion of Oracle, right? But that is not our subject to discuss. Okay, we are discussing data science with Python. Okay, in which we definitely need to have an understanding how to get or establish a connection between a backend. Okay, because Python being a front end. Okay, so you need to establish the connection and just extract the data to work on that. Okay. So can you tell about Jupyter, Spider? I'm new to this field. Yes, so Spider is one environment or IDE. Jupyter is something like, you know, this your web page. Okay, or it's you can open it in a browser basically. Jupyter notebook, you can open it in a browser and you can type in the same line of code which we are going to type in Spider. Okay, so the code remains same. Only the, you know, tomorrow you may find ABC sort of a IDE which uses Python. Okay, so you simply have to learn where to put the code and how to extract the output or how to execute the output. That's it. Because the code is going to be same, because the language is language. Whether you use it in Africa, whether you use it in India, if you want to use Hindi language or if you want to use English language, it is going to be same all over, right? Anaconda is same like Python. No, Anaconda is a navigator. You can say aggregator. Okay, so Anaconda is having, as I shown you that there are multiple softwares available. So it has aggregated all these softwares at one place. Okay, and then from there you can use any software of your choice, right? So something like we have this app downloading app. So it is also an app, right? So Google Play is not Google Play. What is that? That app. Let me check in my mobile. What is the name of that app? It is Play Store. So Play Store is in app itself. So Play Store is nothing like Anaconda, where you get all the apps. So it is something like, it is the aggregator of all the softwares, okay, but open source softwares, of course, open source software. Okay, it shouldn't make any difference if we use PyCharm, right? Yeah, absolutely not. What is the difference between machine learning and data analytics? Okay, so machine learning is a technology wherein, just give me a minute, I've got some messages. Okay, so machine learning is a technology where when we write a program or an application, okay, through which you are telling your machine. So this is a machine learning app. Okay, so when you press over here and if you are saying something, okay, then this particular app or this particular technique is using machine learning over here. But the application is an example of artificial intelligence. Okay, and what is the other term you used? Data analytics. So analytics is nothing but when you have some data with you, let's say this is your data, this is the data, right? Now you are going to, so if suppose let's say you are having 1500 columns like this and maybe 10,000 rows, okay? All these rows and columns are filled up with the information like this, right? Now, when it comes to analytics, you are going to analyze this data by using machine learning algorithm. Okay, so when the big data comes into the picture, for example, if I want to use the Excel sheet over here for over these 10,000 records, I can still use some of the techniques like filtering the data, sorting the data, searching the data, something like this. Okay, but when it comes to a huge data, and a different, if the data is stored in a different formats, then you need some algorithms. Okay, those algorithms, those technologies, those functionalities are called as machine learning algorithms. This is the difference between data analytics and machine learning. So to do the data analytics, you use machine learning algorithms basically, right? Sir, I am from public health epidemiology, okay, background. Please consider that point also and try to cover example. Okay, yes, definitely. Play Store, yeah. Okay. So I think I have answered all these your questions. Now let's get back to our Anaconda, our spider environment over here. Okay. And in this environment, we will try to learn, or I would rather say we will try to play with Python. So my file name itself is a playing with Python basics Python, right? So we are going to learn some basics of Python, okay, but not in a sequential manner, because again, rule number one in data science, machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, okay, this industry is such where there is actually no sequence. Okay, so any topic you can learn first. Okay, of course, after completing the fundamentals. Okay, so similarly here in Python also, you can just go randomly and learn it. Just have a fun with it. I'm going to share this file with you after executing it in our session in this classroom. Okay, so anytime you want to write your own new file, you can simply go here and say new file, okay, and start writing your script. Or if you have any written script available, you can do all this copy paste, etc. All these things we can do, right? So here, this particular file I have just randomly created from the point of view that any layman person can understand this, and the person who is actually really not having any programming background, I won't learn any programming language, not considered that he should be from engineering background and have learned maybe C, C++, Visual Basic, and something like this. Okay, so this is particularly for all people, right? So now let us get started with understanding of or playing with Python, right? So when it comes to a programming language, there are so many different, thousands of different programming languages available. Every language is having their own set of rules. And language is a language. Like Hindi is a language, Marathi is a language, English, French, Portuguese, maybe Japanese, Chinese. These are all different languages. And all languages are having some set of rules to which we call at times as punctuations. Okay, so these punctuations are nothing but syntaxes in computer languages, right? So we have to follow, or it is mandatory to follow these syntaxes while writing the code in any of the computer language. And Python being an open source language, so what is the open source and not open source? So all these Microsoft related products are not open source products. The operating system Microsoft is not an open source Microsoft operating system. Linux is an open source Linux is an open source operating system. Similarly, this Python is a language which is open source. C is language, okay, which is not open sourced. Okay, so you need to follow the strict rules given by the developers of that particular language, wherein in Python or in R programming, which are open source, anybody can download it freely. Anybody can access them freely. Anybody can use any of these any of the packages required over here to attain your goal or fulfill your objective. Okay, so anyone can freely download it, and anyone can access the functionalities available with those packages and modules freely. That is why they are called as open source. Okay, and there are many communities, there are many programmers. By using the basic set of rules which we call syntaxes, they write the programs, they write their own packages, and they are also making these packages publicly available. So any one of you suppose want to use the functionalities available in those packages or modules, can simply access these packages, download them, import them for your session of the program, and start enjoying those functionalities in your programs, right? So we are going to see all these important packages which are required for data science and machine learning, because again, as I said, that data science is a huge topic. In that, Python is one of the small tool which we use to do all this programming and all related stuff, right? And within Python, there are so many different modules and packages, out of which very few are required for data science and machine learning. And the very famous one will be like Pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, matplotlib, or you can say regular expression, RE, right? Seaborn. So these are all the modules or packages. Each of these package is having some functionalities. Like Seaborn and matplotlib will be carrying visualization techniques. Pandas will be basically used for data frames, or you can say where the label data is available. If I want to do any manipulation within that data, what is label data? So this is the label data. This is the example of a label data, because this data is labeled as name. This data is labeled as salary. This data is labeled as number of bottles. Now, if this number of bottles I change to let's say rupees. Well, now the same information belongs to rupees now. It has become 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 4 rupees, and 5 rupees. Earlier it was 2 number of bottles, 3 number of bottles, 4 number of bottles, and 5 number of bottles. Right? So the insight is completely new over here. And that is why there is a lot of importance given to the labels. Labels are very important. Right? So whenever we have such label data available, we can use pandas. These are called data frames actually. This is nothing but one data frame. Right? So we can use those pandas functionalities available in pandas package for data frame related activities. We can use numpy, numerical pi. Numpy is nothing but numerical pi. How you write it? So it is something like this. So this is pandas, this is numpy. Okay, so these are modules name. So numpy is having all the numerical arithmetic related operations or calculations or functionalities within it. So whenever I want to use any mathematical operation on the data, I can call numpy as well. Similarly, there are packages like, as I said, matplotlib or tborn. Okay, so this is matplotlib.pyplot. Okay, or we can have cborn. Right? So these are various packages which we can use. Like scikit-learn mostly will be used for model writing like linear regression, logistic regression, okay, or maybe some of the classification techniques. Okay, we can call these algorithms which are there in scikit-learn. Okay, so different packages will be having different functionalities, and to use these functionalities for our own benefit to solve our business problem, we have to import all these packages, and then we can be able to use the functionalities. Now let's, as I said, there are some set of rules. So the number one rule in Python, and very important one, is that indexing over here starts with 0, right? So what is index? So as we say, we normally have serial numbers, okay? Something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, right? So suppose you are using R language, R programming language, then the index start with 1. In case of Python, it always starts with 0, right? So that is the rule number 1. Now let's try to play around. So I'm using a variable over here. What is variable? It is that object, you can say, wherein I am storing some information which can vary, which can change, right? So name is my x, like we always say, put x equal to 5. So what is x? X is a variable. Because currently I'm using x equal to 5, maybe in tomorrow's example I may use x equal to 7. Okay? So name is carrying this information. Name is a variable and it is carrying this information, which is a string, because it is given in double inverted commas. And I'm saying awesome me, full stop, space, how are you? So this information will be stored in the variable. Now you can see over here, once I execute it, to execute I have used this black button. Okay, so anytime I'm using the single line execution, I will go through this. Once my code is completely established, okay, I may run the entire file by using this, right? But till my code is not complete, I will go one by one. So once I executed it, you can see the result has been appeared in the console. And in the variable explorer, a variable called name has been created, and the value it is storing in itself is this. And the size of this value is 1. And the type of this data is string. Similarly, I can store some other numbers or other information. Let's say in A equal to 5, B equal to 7 means A is having this and this, B is having this. Now, if I want to play A plus B, then I will get an answer 12. This is the basic of it. It's like a calculator. Okay, we can do some basics calculations like this as well. Okay, so a variable can be added into a variable if having the similar data type. Right? I can store this value 12 into another variable called C. Right? So you can see here, C is carrying this value, and all these are integers. Integers are nothing but the numbers. Right? So if I want to see the type of name, you can see it is a string. Right? And if you write down type of, let's say C, then it is integer. So what is the length of the name? So what is the length of this value? Means how many characters are there in this particular name variable. Okay, so I can use the length function over here, len. So this is the beauty of Python. Basically, Python is a simple English language. Okay, so len means nothing but length. And while going forward, you will see, okay, there will be very simple examples. I mean, the function names also very simple. Sub means substitute. Replace itself is a function. Ends with is nothing but how the sentence is ending with, by which letter. Okay. Append, adding, extend, extending, removing. So these are simple English words we can use, because whatever the functionalities these developers have developed, they have given very easy names, something like any layman can understand, right? So if I say a length of name, you will get 23. Okay, if you count it from here, then you will find, including this full stop, space, and all the letters, okay, the count will be 23. If I want to convert everything into lowercase from this name, I will simply say name.lower. So whatever value name is carrying, like this value, okay, all these capital A, capital H, capital M, capital A, capital U, Y, will be converted into lower cases. Okay. Similarly, I can capitalize also. So I can convert it into lowercase. I can capitalize also. So lower is one function, capitalize is one function. And my request to all of you that, as because we are just starting, just keep a note on a separate page that how many functions we are learning day by day. Okay. So you can write down the first function you have learned was type, second was length, third was lower, fourth is capitalized, and this is how, please make a list of it. And if you have time to narrate about what this function does, that will be fantastic for you to refer it back, right? So as I can use this capitalize function on a variable, you can see here only the first letter become capitalized and all rest of the letters are small. I can use these functionalities either on variable, because it is carrying the information within, or I can use it directly on the information or the data. So if suppose this is my data, which is a string, I can use the function over it. I can also convert everything into capital case, uppercase. Okay. If I want to access any element, any letter from this particular string, then I will use the indexing over here. So when I say name, square bracket 3 is nothing but I am trying to access the third index letter from this data. So what can be the third index letter? This is 0. This is 1 because indexing starts with 0 in Python, right? So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So it's going to be S. So the output should be S over here, right? And here in Python, we can also have the negative indexing. So what do you mean by negative indexing? You started from the end of the sentence, started from the last. Okay, so this small u is nothing but minus one index. This O is having minus 2 index. This Y is capital Y is having minus 3 index. Okay, so I'm printing over here name minus 6 means minus 6th index later will be printed from the data, right? Okay, till now any questions? Let me check. Okay, this I have answered. For linear equation functionality, what package is used? We will see. Okay, we will see one by one, topic by topic. Okay, right now we are discussing. The name is Angana Pal. Okay, Angana. Currently we are discussing about basics of Python. Okay, once we get into the linear regression topic, we will see what are the packages, how the code will be written, what sort of business problems can be solved, when to use linear regression, etc., etc. All these questions will be answered once we touch upon that particular topic. Any other question? Okay, you can keep posting your questions. Okay, in between whenever I get some time, or I keep on checking in between. Okay, what is the next one? Can you explain the reverse indexing again? Yes, sure, I will explain. So why in name the result was in double quotes and later on the result was in single quotes? What is the difference? Nothing. There is no difference actually. You can use single quotes over here as well. So if I say now name is blank, or I would say, okay, let me use the single quotes. And here I am saying name 1 because it is a different variable. And this is a single quote. If I create a name 1, you can see both are having the same information. Okay, so there is no difference between single quote and double quote actually. And that is why when it is giving me, so if I print this one now, name 1, this one also give me in single quote, and if I print name, this one also will give me in single quotes. Okay, so there is no difference. And what was the other question over there? Reverse indexing. Okay, so the reverse indexing is like this is your data. Okay, so when you start indexing from left, then it starts with 0. So capital A is 0, W is 1, E is 2, S is 3, 4, 5, 6, and like this you will go. Okay, but if you want to use it in the reverse way, then this will become -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So suppose this same S, if I want to print by using reverse indexing, then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 28. Okay. So here, if you use -3 and -20, oh sorry, 3 and 20, then the output will be same. Got it now? What will be the result in console for -4 indexing? Once I share the file with you, okay, you can try with -1, -2, minus anything. Okay. If we keep on checking each and every single this thing, then it will be very time consuming. But let me check it for you, as because this is the first time you are asking. So let us check for -4. So it is a blank over there, right? So it is -1, -2, -3, and it is a space over there. Is it okay? Yes, definitely you will get same outputs over there. As I said, the code and the language is same for any IDE you use. Obviously, the output will be also same. Okay, all right. Let's continue. So here, now we are trying to store a digit by converting it into the string into a variable called A, right? So A is having 9 number, which is having a string data type, right? So can I multiply A by 4? So what I am asking over here is, my A is carrying a string information. Can I apply the mathematical calculation on a string, whether it is a number or a letter? Let's see what happens. So you have got 4 different 9s. Okay, so this 9 has been repeated for 4 times, right? Because it is a string. Had it been a number, integer, it would have given us the mathematical output, that is 7 4s are 28, right? So you can convert this numerical information into strings like this. Similarly, you can, if you want to try to convert this string information into integer, okay, is it possible? No, it will throw an error. Okay, you cannot convert a string or a letter into an integer, right? But if I want to convert the variable which is having the information string 9 into an integer and store it in A, then I can do it. Okay, you can see here the A has become integer now, right? And don't worry guys, I'm going to share this file so you can try whatever permutation combinations you want to check with this particular thing. Okay, now let us see some examples of adding the strings. Okay, so like we add 2 plus 3 plus 4, you get some, you perform some mathematical operation and you get some addition output right over there. Whereas here, what I'm trying is, I'm trying to add the letters or the words. Okay, so if I use this, then I will get the output like this. It is converted into one single sentence, right? So again, irrespective of it is double quotes or single quotes, the output will be same. there is one more function called replace. Okay, so we all know the information stored in name. Now from this information or this value, okay, I want to replace every E with T so that I can use the replace function. And you can see every E has been replaced with the T. Right? But these are called some of the basics functionalities which comes with default. Okay, so as we have learned, type is a function, len is a function, capitalize is a function, or string is a function, replace is a function. So all these functions are called as default functions of Python. Okay, but there are some functionalities which are available in modules or packages, right? So regular expression is one of the module or package like pandas or numpy or scikit-learn or matplotlib, right? Regular expression is one of the package. Now here one thing to be understood over here is a package or a module, whatever you call it, you have to download it at least once. If it has not downloaded in your system with the installation, then you have to download it with the manual process. So how to download the required package or module? So you can go over here into your Anaconda folder and simply open the Anaconda prompt over here, right? So this is my base path where my Anaconda is stored. Here I can use this particular command, pip install, for pip install and the package name. Suppose I want to install numpy package over here. Okay, then I will write pip install numpy. Or if I want to download pandas, then I will say pip install pandas. And similar to any package, if I want to download, I will simply use pip install and the package name. Now if I say enter over here, it is saying requirement already satisfied. Why? Because I'm using numpy package quite regularly for last so many years, and that is why it has been downloaded in my system. Okay, so anytime if I come to know, now the another question will be, how we will know that which functionality is available in which package? And for that, I told you earlier also, you must be good in this. Okay, by using this, you can find out that which package is having that particular functionality. And then if suppose that package or module is not installed in your system, then you can download it by using this method of pip install in Anaconda prompt. This is one way of installing the package. Or one can also go over here in Anaconda Navigator. Okay, go to the environment tab, search for the uninstalled package or not installed packages. So these are the packages are not installed in my machine. Look at that, how many packages are there which are not installed in my machine because they are not used up till date by me, or maybe after the use, if they are very rare to be used again, then I might have uninstalled them, because unnecessary occupying the space is not good. Okay, so this is another rule when you are coming into data science industry. Use your data or give value to your data, and please use the space intelligently give the justification for which you are downloading any package or any data. There should be some purpose, okay? Otherwise, it will just become a mess in your system, and you simply don't understand which file you have stored where. Okay, that should not be the case. So here also you can go and you can see, or you can search any of the package name which you want to download. Let's say if the package starts with HNAME, HUL. I'm just trying something, okay? So the package name contains HUL is this, let's say. Simply select it over here, and once you select, you can see here the apply button is there. Once you say apply, it will be downloaded. Right? This is how we can, this is another way of downloading a package. And there are different ways, there are more different ways available. Okay, slowly you will learn all of them. Alright, there are some questions. Space is also calculated in counting index. Yes, space is also counted. Calculated, counted. Okay. How can I open console in Spider? You don't have to open, actually it comes by default. Okay, or you can simply use, okay, you can say restart kernel or open Ipython console. You can simply use this option. Okay, go to the settings over here and open an Ipython console, you can say. Or you must find some option over here also. Okay, there are consoles you can see over here. Okay, from here also you can open the console window. Okay, any more questions? Difference between package and libraries. They are both same. The names are interchangeably used. Okay, there is not difference as such. Packages also contains functions. Libraries also contains functions. Library is mostly used in R Studio or R programming language. Okay, packages is the terminology also used in R programming language. And for Python, actually the technical term is modules. Okay, so be it module, be it package, or be it library, they're all same. Or you may say that a package can have different libraries. That is also possible. So I am literally not understand up to, then what I am do. I mean, literally not understand up to means you have not understood anything, Kalwa, up till now. Okay, what is that thing you have not understood? Or there is a possibility, you know, with some students, it happens that maybe they are trying to think too much, or they are trying to think, or there is something going in their in the background of their mind, and they are trying to, you know, expect some answers of those questions. And while thinking on that front, they actually don't focus on what is going on in front of them, and that may be the reason that you are not understanding anything right now. But I am very much sure that once the session is over, once you get the link of this recorded video, just go through this session once again, and you will, I'm sure that you will you know, get some sense about it. I don't know anything about Linux. I do use Windows. So I prefer Windows. Last 22 years I'm using Windows. I'm happy with it. Right? And Python is working good on Windows as well. So I really don't know. I don't have any experience about OS and I mean that Mac and Linux. But yes, for Windows it is doing fantastic job as of now for me. since last few years. All right, let's continue. So I'm importing this RE. So once the package is downloaded, once the module is downloaded in your system, okay, for every time when you want to use the functionalities available in that particular module or package, you have to import that module. Okay, so you simply say import regular expression, or you will say import numpy, or you will say import pandas, or you will say import matplotlib. Okay, so once you import that, now you can start using the functionalities available within that particular module. So let's say I want to use this substitute function which is available in regular expression. Okay, so the syntax will be use substitute function from regular expression on this data and do this action. That is nothing but in this data substitute all these things with a dot. That is the meaning of this sentence. Okay, so from capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, whatever you find in this data, okay, replace all those letters with a dot. And you can see the output over there. Right? If you want to take a help on any function, okay, simply give the path of that function, that is from which package it is, which module it is, and the function name in the help function, and you will get the entire documentation about that particular function. Okay, so this is the documentation for substitute function. Okay, and you can read. Okay, for more details of any functions which we are learning over here. Okay, if you want to get into the deeper level of that particular function, you can use the help command or help function. Okay, and go to the documentation and read all the things. Then you will understand that what is the capacity of that particular function. Right. If I want to do exactly reverse of this, then I will simply use the cap symbol over here. Okay. And rest of the things is similar. So the meaning of this sentence is, or this code line is, except this, replace everything with a dot. So exactly opposite of this particular result. Okay. So except letters, I just want letters from this particular data. Okay. All the special characters, numbers, spaces should be replaced by dots. Right. Now what is the name? Information in the name, the value in the name is this one. I'm using the substitute function on the value available in name, and I'm saying that wherever you find capital A, small e, small s, replace these elements or these letters with X. Not replace, substitute. So again, these function names are what you can say interchangeably. We can use or call these functionalities. Okay. So substitute is substituting capital A, small e, and s within this by small x. And here I'm saying that wherever you find out small o and small m in continuation in this name variable, replace it with x or substitute it with x. Now, what is the difference between this and this? So this is called list. Okay, and this is called string. So in this result, you see, if you keenly observe, that only when the O and M are in continuation, then only it has replaced with X. This O has not replaced, this O has not replaced. Whereas in this is any single letter out of these three, if you find, you replace. Right? So this is the functionality of regular expression. Now I have used the substitution from regular expression. I can use the replace as we have used earlier, okay, which is the default function of Python. So name.replace m with double f. So wherever you find m, replace it with double f. All right, now I'm changing the value. If suppose my value of name is this, awesome feeling. Okay, so this value has changed over here, awesome feeling. I can use ends with function just to check whether my string is ending with G or not. So ends with is one of the functions. So whenever it is appropriate to be utilized, okay, you can use it to get the Boolean value. Okay. So we are just trying to, as I said, the file name is playing. We are just trying to understand the outline or the possibilities available in Python. Okay. Applications where to use these functionalities and all, we are going to see one by one as and when they are required in live case studies. Right? Okay, so substitute we have seen already. So let me check before getting into the list. Let me check if there are any questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, there are some. All the applications that are showing in Anaconda Navigator are the part of Python, or they are some other tools associated with Python for the development. No. Python is separately mentioned, not all the applications, but I will show you. Now, for example, Jupyter Log, Jupyter Notebook, okay, Ipython Console, or Spider, these are the applications which are, connected with Python. There is RStudio also. This is entirely a different language altogether. Okay, so these are different IDEs over here. You can use any of these. Okay, and you can use this code over there. Any more questions? RE.serve, can you explain it once again? Okay, in RE.serve, RE stands for no, regular expressions. I have said RE stands for regular expression. This is a module name. It is called regular expression. RE stands for regular expression. This is the name of the package or a module. So in that module, substitute function is available. So let's say, suppose I have a folder over here. Now I am having this my data science ML AI DL folder. Now within this folder, I am having a subfolder. Within this folder, I may have another folder. Okay. So if I want to reach to a particular functionality, so let's say over here, okay, you see here data science. Suppose this is my package name. This is the folder inside this package. This is another folder inside this particular folder, and this is my function. Okay, so to use that function, I will use this path. Okay, so re.sub.something can be possible. Clear? What was that? Dr. Monica, is it clear? Okay, Angana Pal. Re.sub, can you explain? So you are actually substituting these letters wherever they are available in this string in the data. Right, so if suppose you are having name as a variable which is carrying this information or this information, you can use a variable also over here, or you can directly give the data over here. In this data, this function is going to search for these letters. Wherever it is finding these letters, it is going to replace it with dot, or it is going to substitute it with dots. Okay, and if I use the cap symbol with the same set of what you can say search objects or search letters, okay, so it is going to search other than this information in this data, and wherever it is finding other than this, it is going to replace, it is going to substitute it with dot. Is it clear? Another? Angana Pal. All right. Now let's move ahead to list. Okay. So list is nothing but you can have multiple elements. You have seen that A can store only integer values, name can store only string values, because these are the data types of this. Now once the lists are come into the picture, list can contain multiple data types. Okay, so I can have string, I can have numbers, I can have any other thing, float values or any other thing, right? So if suppose this is my list of elements, X is my list of elements, this is the list of elements. If I want to append this list, I will use the append function. Append is nothing but adding an element into the list. So you can see here, if I print X now, 2018 has been appended in the earlier list. If I append it with this, now this is a string. Okay, so my X will be appended with that particular word. Now if I want to append this list within list with a list, okay, so this entire list will be considered as an element, one element, single element, and it will be added into the list. So my list becomes this. So you see now my list is carrying not only numbers, it is also carrying the string or the character information. It is also carrying another list within it. Okay, that is why list is a very strong object. Now there is a subtle difference between this append function and extend function. Both of them are adding, but the way they are adding the element or the information into the list is different. If I use x.extend with another list 14, 15, okay, then that 14 and 15 will be added as a separate element into the list. So there is a difference between append and extend function, right? So append has appended with the entire list like this, whereas extend has broken down that list into different elements and added it into the original list. If I want to remove any element from this X list, there are two functions available. One is pop and one is remove. When I say pop of it, okay, so from the list of X, pop it means remove the 8th element in the list. Now this is my 0th element, this is my first element, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and 8th. So 2018 is my 8th element, that is the index. So pop function takes index value over here. Okay, so that number index, whatever value is available in that particular list, will be deleted. Okay, and this is what the output is. This is my new list where 2018 is not available or not present. If I want to use the remove function, okay, then it takes the actual value, which value I want to remove. Okay, so now in this list, 8 is the value which is available in this list. Okay, it is not the index number, it is the value. Okay, so if I say remove of 8, then it is going to remove the number 8. Clear? Any questions? Okay. So X is my this list 1, 2, 3, 4. Y is ABC and A is 2, 3, 4. So I have declared 3 lists now. X is 1, 2, 3, 4. Y is ABC and A is 2, 3, 4. Now if I add this X and A, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and ABC, then what will happen? If I want to store it in B, then this is how the addition will be done. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2, 3, 4. Right? So these are the values in X, these are the values in A. And if I say X plus A plus B, then what will happen? Or not B, Y. Okay, so different elements have got merged in one particular list. And this is called concatenation of the list. That is adding one list into another list to create the third list. Right? Now let us see some of the sorting examples. So how to sort the data? So we all know what does sorting means. Arranging in the order. Right? So if suppose this is my new list, to which I am calling it as X. And if I want to sort this X, okay, then that X has become this now, because it has sorted from least value to the maximum value. I can even use reverse equal to true as a parameter to pass on in the sort function. So if I'm using the sort as a function, and if I say the parameter should be reverse equal to true, now how to know what type of parameters the sort function takes? Simple. Again, I can go to the help function, just give this x dot sort to it, and it will give me the documentation, and then we will see that what different parameters a sort function can take. Okay, so if I say reverse equal to true, then it has been sorted in a reverse order, right? Now let us try to create. Any questions till now, guys? Difference between append and extend. Difference between pop and remove function. So what is the question? I have already explained now what is the difference between append and extend. So this is the difference. You can see here, when I have appended the list, it has taken the list as an element within it. But when I extended, it has taken it as different elements. You see here, when I have appended it with 12 and 13, it is taken as a complete list. When I say extend, it has broken this list into different elements which are there. That is 14 and 15 are the elements of the list. Okay, it has broken the list and taken it separately. That is what extension is about. And this is what appending is all about. And pop is using the index number, whereas remove uses the value in the list. Is it clear? I think I have just at the beginning only told you guys that you don't have to memorize anything. You can simply use this one. Here in the session, what you have to do is you simply have to focus on the explanation part, whatever I am explaining over here. If you want to note down anything, any function name or any important information, you can prepare your own notes. And later on, when you are revisiting this video, okay, if you want to search upon those particular things, you can simply go over here and go for the detailed information. Okay, because again and again I'm saying that it is a huge industry. It is a huge technology, and there are so many different words and technologies and terminologies, functions and parameters, right? Which no one on planet Earth, even the developer of the Python, even the owner of the Python who has started this language or who has started working on Python as a project to create the language, even he don't know how many functions are available in the Python, or he can't memorize it. No one on the earth can memorize, and no need of memorizing anything. Okay, to begin with, these small simple functions, you can start preparing your notes. Slowly you will understand that there are better mechanisms or there are better ways, because person to person it varies. Okay, different people have different capacities and abilities and skills to what you can say, to gather the information or to collect the information or to use the information. Okay, after that, what is there? What is the true function actually meant for? What is true function? Where is true function? I don't know what is true function. Why x dot sort reverse equal to true? Not why. If suppose I want to sort it in a reverse way, I will use it. I'm just showing you that there are these options available that you can sort it in a reverse order. If suppose I want to sort it in a reverse order. If I don't want to sort it even, I don't use the sort function. So there is no question like why over there. Yeah, you can use remove to string also. Python is case sensitive. Yes, very good question. Python is a case sensitive language. Okay, all clear? So let's be interactive, guys. If I'm answering your questions, kindly please acknowledge it so that I can understand that you are through with your question or I have answered your question. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move ahead. So we have seen sorting. Now let us see. Suppose I want to create a list from a particular range. Let's say I want to create a list of the numbers from 500 to 1000 or 100 to 200 or 0 to something. Okay, if I want to use that, if I want to generate a list by using the program, then I can simply use it like this. Okay, I'm saying list of range 50. So what is range 50? So this is called inner function. Okay, range 50 is inner function. This is outer function. So always like we all know that multiplication, division, plus and minus happens in that order, right? Similarly, the inner function will be executed first, after that the outer function, after that the outer function, after that the outer function. Okay, so let us see the result of this range. When I say range of 50 means it is 0 and 50, that is the range between 0 and 50. And when I say I want to have a list from 0 to 50, okay, this is what the output I will get. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 49. Okay, last digit it does not consider because it is starting with 0. So it has generated 50 numbers including 0. Right? So when I say list of range of 50, store it in X. So X is having these numbers now. So this is my list. Okay, this is my list of X. Now if I want to access the index number 3 value from X, then it is going to be 3. Because this is first, this is second, this is first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. But this is 0th index, this is first index, this is second index, this is third index. So I am talking about the third index value, which is nothing but the 3. Now I am using another list over here with different numbers. So this is going to be my X. And if I want to insert, so insert is another function. If I want to insert, let's say 1000 as an element or as a value within this particular list, okay, at this index location. Okay, so index location is 1, which is nothing but this one. So here I want to insert 1000 as a value in the list of X. Okay, you can see over here. Now if I want to sort again in a reverse order, so this is just repeated this one because this is a huge, I mean the larger list than the earlier one. Okay, you can see here when I say reverse equal to true means the highest number will come first and the lowest will be, so it is descending order, right? And there is a function called reverse as well. So to achieve this, okay, I can also have the direct function called reverse. So I can either use sort reverse equal to true, or I can directly use reverse function as well. So if I use x dot reverse, okay, the list will be reversed over here. Okay, so earlier values were this, I mean the storing style, and now it has been like this because I have reversed it. So this is another function, right? Again I can append, so the person who has not understood it last time now try to concentrate over here how append and extend works. Those who have not understood append and extend. Okay, so now this is my X. Okay, I want to append this X with E, Y and E letters. So what happened over here? You see, because E, Y and E is another list, it has considered as list within list as an element. Right? If the same thing, if I use it with extend function, and if I use the same data again, then this is the output. You can see over here, this element, it has taken the complete list as it is when I use it append function, and when I use extend function, it has broken down that list into different elements. This is the difference between append and extend. So can I sort this particular X values now? Now it has given me the error. Why? Because the list is not having the integer data now. Okay, and letters you cannot sort. The string values you cannot sort. So if you want to apply the sort function, you can apply only on numerical data. Right? Again, same examples given over here: append, extend, 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 append. Okay. So you can. This is for your trial purpose. You can try it out when I share this file with you. All right. Any questions? Cascading list. Where is cascading list? Have I used it now? Jashumanani? Okay. So please ask the questions which I'm using. I mean, as far as the this thing is concerned, because others may get confused. Okay. Some of you might have learned it, some basic things by reading or somewhere else because of out of your interest. Okay. So once I cover that particular topic, please ask about it. Otherwise, just hold on with you, right? Okay. Now let us see some conditional statements over here. Let us see some conditional statements. So if and else is one of the popular one conditional statement. What is conditional statement? It is nothing but you are trying to take any action if a particular condition is going to happen or happening or true. Something like, if suppose there are clouds, then while going out, I will carry an umbrella. Something like, if suppose tomorrow the stock market is going to up, or maybe for next quarter, the market is going to show the positive trends, I'm going to invest. So there are some conditions. If this is going to happen, or if this is going to be true, or if this is going to be false, which means indirectly I'm saying if this is going to happen, then only I'm going to do this thing. Okay. So here we are saying if not 3 is greater than 4, then print yes. Which means if 3 is not greater than 4, then print yes. If 3 is greater than 4, then don't do anything. Right? So it is printed yes, because 3 is not greater than 4. If I remove this not over here, then my condition becomes if 3 is greater than 4, print yes. So it is not going to perform anything, right? Because the condition has not satisfied. So whenever this condition is satisfied, it is going to take an action. Now let's say, for example, over here, PQR is equal to 100, and we are checking the conditions that whether PQR is less than 3, is less than 5, is less than 6, is less than 7. If it is less than 3, then print A. If it is less than 5, then print B. If it is less than 6, then print C. If it is less than 7, then print D. If none of these condition is satisfied, then you will go for else. Do this. Right? So let me execute this conditional statement. So it has executed none because PQR is not less than 3, 5, 6, 7. Right? This is another conditional statement. This is another conditional statement which we are going to see. So I hope everyone is familiar with modulus operator. If not, I will simply explain it. So this symbol is called as the modulus operator, the percent symbol. The meaning of this is if 12 is divisible by 3, completely divisible by 3, then the remainder will be 0. If 12 is not completely divisible by any number, then there will be some remainder, right? So when we are writing this one, we are saying that if 12 is completely divisible by 3, whatever remainder value will be there, if it is matching with 0, then the condition is satisfied over here. And here in this case, we are checking another condition by using the AND operator. Okay, so there are two operators, one is AND and one is OR. So AND means this condition and this condition, both has to be true. This condition and this condition, both has to be true, right? So here, 12 divided by 3, remainder is 0, this condition is satisfied. 12 divided by 5, remainder is not matching with 0, so this condition is not satisfied, right? So if one of the condition is not satisfied while using the AND operator, then it will go to this. It will check the next condition. If it is satisfied, then it is going to take the action. If it is not satisfying, then it will go and check the next condition. If it is satisfying, then it will take the action. But whenever it takes the action first, okay, it is not going to check any other next conditions, right? So if I execute this one, you will see it has printed second because the first condition is not satisfied. This entire has to be satisfied. It has not satisfied. This one has satisfied, and that is why it has printed second. And once it has printed it, it will not execute all these lines. It will come directly to this line, right? Now let's say your x is having these values 23, 34, 45, 22, 11 and 10. Now we are using some loops over here, and the most popular loop is for loop. So I'm saying for I in x, which means I is going to take each value available in x for every iteration. So when it comes to loop, it is attached with iterations, right? So for I in x means I is going to capture each and every value with every iteration, and we are going to check the conditions. Okay, so first time the I is going to take the value from x, that value is nothing but 23. Okay, so we are checking the conditions that whether the value available in I, which is 23 for the first time, first iteration, if we divide it by 2, does the remainder matches with 0? If this condition is satisfied, then take this action. If this condition is not satisfied, then take this action. Right? So for I in x, I'm checking for I in x, is going to give me this output. 23 is odd, 34 is even, 45 is odd, 22 is even, 11 is odd, and 10 is even. Is it clear? Up to line number 213, any questions? Sir, in input 1137, why there is 2 empty rows before the result yes? Okay. So because I might have selected those many lines, nothing else. This one insignificant. Okay, don't give much importance to such things. All right. Any more questions? Okay, conditional statement, I'm getting syntax error, unexpected end of file while parsing. Yes, maybe this indentation is wrong over here because you see over here this, and then exactly after a tab this if condition is there, exactly after a tab this print is there. Okay, so might be your syntax is not good, proper. So check whether the syntax is proper. Check whether you have given this colon after each condition. So these are the syntaxes. So whenever you find such errors like syntax error, value error, okay, just copy these things. Just copy this one. And put it over here. See, remember, today is your first session and I'm saying it to you on the first session itself. Right? After completion of this, I mean, not after completion of this, but definitely if you have shown interest in this particular course, which means you are interested to be a data scientist, right? And what is the job of a scientist? The job of a scientist is to research, okay? To search it again and again, or to find out, to dig down, to come up with the information. What is mining? Why did you use the term data mining? Mining is nothing but what? Digging down the things, okay? So there is huge amount of data, but you are interested in only the specific amount of information from that huge amount of data. So what you have to do? You have to mine it. You have to remove all those which you don't want. You simply have to focus on what you want. Okay, and that is what the research field is all about, right? So many times while writing the codes and programs, you may find some errors like this. These are the basic errors, but you may even get some complex errors going forward. Okay, so anytime you get such errors, the simple thing to overcome on this is to use your search engine. Okay, simply copy that error, put it over here, go through all the documentation, whatever you find over here. That is what the research work, right? Yeah, I have told you just now, Atul. Yeah, okay. So can you please tell for concept again? Okay, I will tell. I will explain for concept. Okay. So in this particular segment, I will explain it again. Okay. Or you want me to explain this one? Okay. So what is happening over here? X is having these values. Okay. X is having 23, 34, 45, 22, 11, and 10. These are the values X is having. Right? Now, when I am writing the for loop over here, I am saying for I. I means it is a standard practice. They write I. You can write G. You can write Y. You can write your name. You can write any variable over here. Okay. So for I in X, the meaning of this is I is going to take the value from X. That is nothing but in the first iteration of for loop, I is having a value 23. In the second iteration of the for loop, I will be having the value 34. In the third iteration of the for loop, I is going to have the value of 45 and so on, right? So whenever I was having a 23 as a value stored in it from X, we are going to check the condition whether that 23, if you divide it by 2, whatever remain over there, is it matching with 0? So if you divide 23 by 2, the remainder is definitely not 0, which means the condition is not satisfied. So it has gone over here and printed that 23 is odd. Now in case of the second iteration, the value is 34 in I. So 34 divided by 2, the remainder is 0, which is matching with 0. That is why this condition is satisfied over here, and the action will be taken is this. So 34 is even, and so on for every iteration for all other numbers. Is that clear? Vivek? If in sorting examples, if in a list we have single string, in numerical values, then will it function? I did not get your this thing question. Single string means, who is that? Vandan Kumar Loda. What do you mean by single string? One dot two dot three name means, no, did not, still not got. What is your question? In sorting, string cannot be sorted. That is for sure. Okay. So in sorting, if you see, where is that? Okay, in this particular example, we had X like this, okay, and we have sorted it. Okay, so because all the numbers were there, the X has been sorted out. Correct? In reverse order, because we have given reverse equal to true. But now when you append it with, let's say this one, EYE, okay, or let's say you extend it with EYE, which means your X is having letters in it. Okay, so whenever you have whether a single letter, double letter, a list carrying the letters or anything, okay, you cannot sort that particular outer list. Is that clear? Yes, due to string value, numerical value will not be sorted. Due to string value, numerical value also will not be sorted. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Okay, welcome, Mandan Kumar. All right, so till now, we have sorted out between us. Okay, so someone please note down this number 214. Okay, till this line of code we have covered in today's session, right? And tomorrow we will start from 200 and line number 215. Is that okay? Any more questions? All right. Then I guess let us stop over here for the day, and we'll reconnect tomorrow right at 5 o'clock, and we'll start our basics of Python again from line number 214 or 15, whatever it is. Okay, I thank you very much, all of you, for joining today's session. I appreciate your patience attending me, and I wish you a very good night. See you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Thank you very much. Okay, I will share the file once the entire file will be executed. Yeah, welcome. So I will. There is a question from Vishal Vidake. Okay, if you want, I can share it, but then I will request you not to go, ahead of 214. Whatever you want to practice, practice up to 214. Okay, I don't want unnecessary errors or unnecessary different sort of questions within you. So let me check how can I attach that file over here. Okay, can I attach it over here in the chat window itself?
Sir, if you can just share with me, I'll share you. I'll share with the all the candidate in the group.
Who is that? Who is that? Okay, who is that?
Abhishek.
Okay.
Abhishek.
Okay. So Abhishek, I will. Okay, great. So I'm going to share this file with Abhishek. Okay, he will share it with you participants. All right. So thank you very much, guys. Abhishek, Kaushalji, and all the participants. Thank you very much. Okay, let's meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Bye. See you. Take care. Good night.
Bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Now we'll conclude the session and meet again. All the details and the files, especially, and the recording as well, will be shared on your groups. Okay. So just keep on practicing. This is the first session. I believe you need to just research more about the things that you have learned today, and hopefully you can just come back stronger, and you will be able to learn and understand more. You can say better tomorrow in the session, right? So now I'll conclude the session, and I would request you guys to join the session at 5 p.m. tomorrow, right, at the same time, so we can start as soon as possible, right? Thank you all.
Goodbye.